Hello Commanders and welcome back. We are doing ranked play with Matthremar. This is a continuation of episode 18. This is round 2 of the mind control build that I did earlier today. And we have a lot more videos to show you. We're not going to go over the build that I did because we did that in the last video. So if you want to see how I set this up, go ahead and check out the beginning of that one. But we're going to go through these a lot faster. But first, if you like what you see here, please do like this video. Also, please subscribe. That helps me tremendously. And if you want notifications when I drop new videos, hit that notification bell. Also, if you have any comments, please do leave them below, and I will do my best to answer all of those. All right, let's get after it. We are going to show you these pretty rapid. We're not going to do too much analysis, just to kind of show you how this build functions. So here we've got another nature build. The UB just dives right in there and all of a sudden belongs to me. And we had that UB on this bottom corner, the bottom left, that teleports over. And it has me very concerned because poof, there goes all my stuff. So I'm a little worried. But everything gets mind controlled running back and forth across those shrooms. So I am doing just fine. Pull out the win on that one. So very pleased with how that turns out. This build performs very well against nature builds and squads, or titan builds, or hero builds, whatever you call them. I guess it just depends on who you're talking to. So here's an RD swarm. Notable thing about this is he's running the Ring of Unity. I can see the benefits to doing that, but I can also see some major drawbacks in that you see most of his army is purple, and it's staying that way. If he was running Crown of the Lightbringer for his rare artifact slot, he would be pushing me a lot harder, and I would have a lot more to worry about. Another nature build. I just love watching these. Again, a bunch of assassins in the back. They are clearing through my back line, and they take out my Mind Corruptor, and that's about it. But all it takes is a couple shrooms and those UBs start doing my work for me. I just love seeing these nature builds flip. So let's do the next one, DK Swarm. Now this one was tight. Let's see how close we can get with this one. We have Swarm, bunch of Plaguebearers and Fire Knights. You kind of split them between the top and the bottom so the buffs don't conflict too terribly. But yeah, I'm getting eaten alive, but things keep turning with all those shrooms around. But he's burned through the vast majority of them, so there's not much left. So it gets really close. We almost have it, but that Death Knight doesn't stay mine long enough. It flips back over, and it's game. So again, this isn't the Watch Me Win channel. This is the See How This Build Works channel, because we're trying to learn strategy. So it's not about me winning all the time. I like to show you where I win, because that's showing you how these builds are functional and how they get the job done. But it's also good to show you when they don't, so that you can see where the weaknesses are. So, notice that when you're up against a certain bracket, you'll be up against a lot of swarms, or you'll be up against a lot of nature builds. So if you're up against a lot of nature builds, this is a fantastic build to counter those. It's kind of 50-50 on these DK swarms. Notice that Crystal Spire, it's got a lot of range on it. He's not using the banner, but he's got some range stones on it, so it's got some reach. And that might cause me some trouble, but I do have my Barrier Monk, and I've got a couple mind-controlled units there, but yeah, my Barrier Monk's going to get me just close enough to tag it. And with that Eye of the Corruptor common artifact, that's all it takes. All right, this one. Okay, this one was this one was fun. Let's not muddy this one with too much controversy. Look at this. Look at this. All that purple. His entire army just turns around on him. And good night, sweetheart. Now, obviously, we're not trying to bag on anybody. It's just really nice when it works. And you know what? With the RNG, it may not work the next time, but wow, was that ever satisfying. All right. So this one, okay, the assassins. Notice those assassins in the back. They're going to kill just about everything I've got. There goes my Arcane Archer. There goes my Mind Corruptor. There goes my Stormcaller. It's all gone, but I also have half of his army. So we just got to hope that enough stuff stays mind controlled long enough, because I don't have any units left. But there it is. Boom. Caught him with a shroom. That's all it takes. And wow, this just works so well against nature builds. All right, so this one, okay, we're going to pause on this one just because I was a little confused about the setup here. It's kind of a half and half mix between order and chaos, and I don't really get it. If you're going to run RDs, you really ought to have at least 6 of them. You just don't get enough buffs to really matter if you're only running 3. So yeah, those are a couple of issues that I have. Also with the Ring of Unity, if you're trying to get the Ascension 1 buff out of that, you're only getting a maximum potential of 5%, because it's 2.5% for each faction represented, and I'm only seeing, oh well, I guess he's got constructs in there, so he'd get about 7.5% health buff, but it's just not worth it. He doesn't have enough focused on any one particular thing. Now he does have the Shield of the Dragon Slayer, which may cause me some problems for my mind control. Let's see how that plays out. So those are a couple things to note. So things aren't going to turn as easily, but I do have some very good force on the artifacts and everything else to make that mind control stick. I just got to get him. So, yeah, he ate me alive. I don't get the build, but it worked for him. So, yeah, I put a note there, don't let it go to your head. I had a lot of success for a long time with this build and climbed my way back up quite a ways, but sometimes people do stuff that doesn't make sense to me, but it seems to work for them. All right, so here we go. This one is, I think his name is Bane on YouTube. And you'll see him in the forums a lot. He does a lot of videos of his own. But yeah, he's got a Mind Corruptor Snow Globe up at the top with the standard Thorn Guards up front and Cannoneer to help punch a hole. And I'm trying to get him, but it's just not working so hot for me. Those Mind Corruptor Snow Globes, they're just a very solid build. And there's not a whole lot of counters to them, but there are ways to do it. But I do not do very well, obviously. So yeah, again, this isn't the Watch Me Win channel. We see how some builds can just shred this apart. But yeah, that was kind of fun to see Bane. He's a good dude. Let's see, DK Swarm. All right, so I think I've got this one. This one looks like I have it well in hand as things start to play out, but I don't recall how this one actually ends. I did this a lot earlier in the day. Mind Corruptor is taking care of all those Risen Warriors in the back. They're all mine, basically. And oh, now I've got his Death Knight. The eyes are helping out a lot. Oh, okay, but I don't have a lot of units to push back towards that Cannoneer, so this could get ugly. Okay, the Cannoneer might get a couple lucky shots off. Oh, okay. Now I'm in trouble. All right, well, I don't have much left. There we go. I'm down. So yeah, it doesn't work all the time, but it is very effective against certain builds. Certain factions. Oh, okay, we've got a wagon. This will be fun. Wagon turns right around. Oh, and then it hits its own shrooms, and we just ping pong the wagon back and forth. So we played Phoenix Pong the other day. Now we're just playing Wagon Pong. And oh, okay, now it's getting back my way, and I'm toast. All right, let's hopefully win eventually. Let's see. Now this one was interesting just because it's kind of got a mishmash of a bunch of different things. We've got Fire Knights, which are chaos. We've got Dire Wolves, which are nature. We've got Warhounds, which are nature. Paladin, which is order. Drummer, which is order. Arcane Blades, which are order. Hammer Throwers, which are order. Then a bunch of Wraiths, which are chaos. and a bunch of Risen Warriors, which are chaos. So it's kind of all over the place. But he's only running the one artifact, so there's really not too many downsides to running something like this. Once you start getting your artifacts, though, you kind of get funneled into certain units because they all get the buff from that unit. So not too much of a downside, given that he's only running the one artifact. He's got 2 sets of Direwolves to buff 2 packs of Warhounds. He might do better to switch out the Direwolves for even just more Warhounds, get more buffs on that Primal Warhorn. But yeah, so kind of an eclectic build. There's a whole lot going on there, and it's just kind of unusual to see that many different factions in an army. But yeah, he runs into my shrooms and shreds himself to bits, but I'm catching him with those eyes and the Mind Corruptor. It turns everything in the end. Alright, let's see what we got next. Ooh, double EC. This one was interesting. Look at those. 2 level 11 Eternal Champions. Hot dang. I am jealous. But watch as those Eternal Champions march right into their own meat grinder and they turn around on themselves. The Barrier Monk is going to give me some trouble here because my Mind Corruptor is effectively useless. I can't hit anything. But fortunately, the Mindshrooms are doing all the heavy lifting. So, yeah, one EC after another. Level 11 EC versus level 11 EC. I basically just bought those units for myself by having a few Mindshrooms on the ground. And then, poof, the squad is gone, and it's just down to those archers in the back. Can I survive the archers, though? There's, too many of them. Toast. Yeah, but you can see just how troublesome those Mindshrooms can be. I've run a squad build for a long time, and Mindshrooms just shred me to bits every time. It's usually somebody will have an ancient tree in the back, and I'll end up running all the way across the map with my squad and then shred myself to death. Oh, okay, we just watched that one, I think. Oh, no, we did. Oh, we already saw that guy. So let's do this one. Okay, here's a swarm that just ends up hitting a brick wall of Mindshrooms and turns right back around on itself. And my whole core group there is just able to keep doing what it's doing because the swarm just stops in its tracks. Just look at that. Wow. That was very effective. It's 50-50 on the swarms, but when it works, it works. All right. Oh, okay, we got another wagon. So here comes the wagon. Poof, back it goes. Now he's running a fire artifact, and I think all I see is an Ember Fiend as far as fire units. He may have Ignite on because that's currently available, the Ignite Power Stone. But yeah, the level 1 crown I think has a 9-second turnaround on the heal or the cleanse. So it's either 8 or 9. But yeah, we're able to turn the army around on itself. But yeah, just the one Ember Fiend, I'm not sure if that's worth spending the artifact on that. I picked something else personally, but hey, whatever works. Okay, now this one, we have 2 very powerful units back there with no Barrier Monk. So, yeah, the eyes are able to catch him. Stormcaller is able to tag him. It's, yeah, that Barrier Monk, you can see just how crucial it is. If you're up against somebody who has a Barrier Monk and a Stormcaller, you're basically toast. But, yeah. That whole wall of Mindshrooms just stops everything in its tracks and allows the Stormcaller and the Mind Corruptor to do their work. And again, that Arcane Archer in the back is just an insurance policy for when we get towards the end. Alright, we got 3 Crystal Spires. Wow. Okay, they're running into the wall. They're starting to flip. And we've got Stormcaller that's about to pop my bubble. Did my Stormcaller already disappear? Looks like it. Yeah. So can I get it? Okay, Arcane Archer's starting to earn her keep. Okay, this could get ugly. Now we've got Arcane Archer versus Arcane Archer. Can I get it? And yes, we're clear. It's all just cleanup from here. That was down to whichever Arcane Archer took out the other one first. So RNG, that battle could have gone either way. Alright, we're almost done. We wanted to burn through these quickly, so I apologize for not getting a whole lot of content for the strategies behind these, but I wanted to get all these through so you could see how this build functions. So yeah, the swarm hits the wall, turns on itself, and stops in its tracks, allowing my Stormcaller and my Corruptor to do their work. The Druid is very helpful because, you know, if you can slow down the onslaught enough to allow the Druid to get a couple heals off on both of those units, it's fantastic. They just keep going. Alright, and this is the last one that we did for this series, and we're going to call it. And yeah, so thank you for watching. There goes a wagon. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll have more videos for you soon. Yeah, look at that Stormcaller. He just keeps getting cleansed and then bumped back into the shrooms. And we took the wagon from the top, so that was handy. And now the Corruptor can take over whatever's left. But yeah, it could have gone either way depending on how that Stormcaller ended up. If the Stormcaller wasn't able to take out those towers, the Crystal Spires could have killed my Corruptor. So yeah, next time I fight that dude, I could very well lose. It's not a guaranteed win. So anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys, and we will have more content for you soon. Happy 4th.